Greetings. My name is Michael McFarland. I am a happy Southfield resident for approximately 14 years now, and as well I am a member of the Southfield Downtown Development Authority in my second term.
Thank you, Mr. McFarland. If you could, tell us where you're from and your backstory.
I am a native Detroiter. I remember distinctly 68 East Philadelphia between Woodward and John R. And from there I moved to the northwest side at 2964 West Grand Avenue in the Davison, Linwood, Dexter area.
What made you come to Southfield?
Actually, Southfield had a condo that was the right size for the right dollar at the right time. I originally felt that Southfield residents were kind of snooty and snobbish, but I've become a Southfield resident now myself, and I'm not snooty or snobbish at all.
We just won't comment on your grand piano that sits in your condo. Speaking of piano, tell us about, this is going to give us a chance to really get a feel for you as a person. I understand you're a concert pianist.
I am. Concert pianist and vocalist. Vocal part is retired now, but I'm still working diligently with a good acoustic grand piano. Most recently, a recital of the Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue, which I'm extremely proud of and moving right along with.
Do you have any things on the horizon you wish to do with your talent?
I'm hoping to record the Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin.
Yes.
This being his, shall I say, the 100th anniversary of the creation of that quintessential masterpiece, if you will.
Yeah.
It was composed in 1924, and here we are in 2024. So I'm working the anniversary year as much as I possibly can to bring it to light and the significance of that particular combination or original combination of the classical and the jazz kind of concert.
Now, you know, in talking with the mayor and several other board members, there seems to be one bit of continuity, and that is the arts within Southfield. You talk about the physical structures that are going up and the visual arts, and as I sit here with you, I'm thinking about the music arts.
Well, artistically, I am very much in support of what the mayor is championing with regard to on-site public artwork, particularly those pieces which have been extracted and stored and preserved from the Northland compound. And many of them are going to be put back there. Those that are not put back on the Northland site are being planted throughout the city in the, for example, the roundabouts on Evergreen near the City Hall. There are wonderful pieces of art there. And the most recent one that I had to take a special trip to see was on Southfield, and it was at the very top of the building of a storage facility. I think it's north of 12 Mile Road in Southfield. I can't think of the name of the storage thing, but the colors are orange. But at the very top beam there is a life-size replication of the famous photograph of workmen who were sitting on a beam in the middle of the air whilst I believe it was the Empire State Building was being constructed. Yeah. And that is just an amazing addition, I think, to Southfield's public art on a storage facility, if you will.
Yeah, and it's an eye catcher.
Yeah,
and I think that's what impresses people about a given city, when they care about the aesthetics, beyond the aesthetics, but into the arts.
Absolutely.
And Southfield is really doing that, and I can't wait to see what happens in the district with the new additional pieces that are on its way.
And in addition to being a musician, I'm also a retired architect. So I'm very much aware of building. I have a love affair with buildings.
Oh, nice.
Throughout Metro Detroit, and particularly in Southfield here.
Well, you must have had the time of your life when they were building up Civic Center area with all the buildings going up.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed the bronze and the dark glass of that civic center area.
We take many of the buildings here in Southfield for granted, but Southfield is in fact a city of firsts. First mall in the country.
Yeah.
Goes to Northland. The most amount of available office space for any suburban city right here in Southfield. Mm-hmm. So on that note, segueing a little bit, what would you think would be a good reason for a business to want to move to Southfield?
That's easy. As they say in real estate, location, location, location. Geographically, we're very accessible to several major expressway arteries, if you will, mm-hmm. to get virtually anywhere in Metro Detroit within a very short period of time. So that works very well.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to love the high-rise building that I live in and call home now. There's not another building like it, and certainly for the price, in all of Metro Detroit. Wow. And I keep looking all the time, but it just doesn't exist. So I'm a very happy camper here.
Oh, that's nice. Now, we talked about the diversity of real estate in the area here. Mm-hmm. Would you say it's, now you're the first person that said that lived in a high-rise luxury condo that talks about the diversity of residential availability. So any new business coming to Southfield, what would you say about their options here?
I think the options are extremely good. Since I have been on the SDDA board, I've of course realized that we've had a few vacancies of a major proportion, but they are being filled up as I speak, and so it's very promising now. The revitalization of some of the larger commercial spaces which have been vacant for a while are about to come alive once again, particularly in connection with the Northland development, which is just, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most super projects that could ever happen to a neighborhood, to bring it back to its original glory. What with the new modern updates of technology nowadays, and adding lots of housing along.
I was going to say residential.
Lots of residential, and we have quite a variety. That happens to be my major role, if you will, in the Downtown Development Authority, to represent the residential component in this particular section, this southeast corner, if you will, of all of Southfield, and that includes thousands of residents, rental properties, as well as condominiums, high-rise as well as low-rise townhouse varieties. And so I try to keep an eye and an ear out for things at the conference table.
How does it make you feel as a longtime Detroiter and coming here to Southfield and just seeing all this going on? I know it's a given. I know it makes you feel good, but
I think we have an exceptional mayor in Ken Siver, who is very architecturally astute himself, and with good ideas about art, public art, as well as the preservation of historic buildings such as the Reynolds Building, and I'm very hopeful that Southfield will be an attractive place for young people as well as seniors.
Yes,
it's going to work, and I hope to be around here to lift a glass of champagne and say, job well done.
Absolutely. Make sure you adorn yourself with a Gucci bathrobe as well.
Okay.
Well, now let's take a turn back in time a little bit. Your educational path. I mean, obviously you've hit a couple of marks there.
Well, I started out at Cass Tech High School in Detroit.
I knew I always liked you.
You're a cash decker too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a class of '83, so don't tell me you're a '38 class of '38. Don't tell me that. No, but
No. No, I was there in the original building.
yes, same here.
And from there I left and went to New York.
Okay.
I studied architecture at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York, and ultimately was married there. So I spent about 10 years of my life between school and marriage and working in Park Avenue. Then times got hard, got laid off, and the best offers came through, ironically, right back here in Detroit with architectural firm Bill Kessler, who designed the many good buildings, the original Science Center. I was a part of that. The original Receiving Hospital, and several other notable buildings around Detroit. So I've worked in architecture both in New York City and in Detroit. I've never opened my own shop. I was always under the employ of another architect. I never wanted that business, trying to run the business myself. I enjoyed doing what I did on the drafting board and design.
They needed you.
Yeah.
And then they're probably secretively worried about you becoming their competitor. That's awesome. So after Pratt, that's when you went straight into the workforce itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I worked for Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, very large worldwide architectural firm on Park Avenue. Big stuff to small stuff like storefronts along Avenue of Fashions here in Detroit, and worked for a number of pretty well-known architects. The things that I'm looking forward to in Southfield, if you will, is sustainability and the quality of life versus the quantity of life. I think that's an ongoing concern, right? Not only with regard to Southfield, but southeastern Michigan and the country. I'd like to see us become more aimed toward the quality of life rather than the quantity of it.
What would you say would be the best advice in your career path and in your life experiences, and where did it come from?
That's kind of I think a threefold question for me. Best advice is I learned let go and let God. That morphs for me into what we know as the serenity prayer. And that for me morphs into so be it. A loose translation, amen. I'm looking forward to in this area to things like a 100% crime-free designation in Southfield. I'm looking forward to a 100% occupancy for all of our commercial spaces, and just a sustainable quality of living for residents as well as businesses. The Southfield Library is just
exceptional,
second to none. It's a wonderful building. It's an architectural gem, and a wonderful place to go and read, learn, and just hang out.
It in itself is a work of art. The staircase, now the Northland art pieces that are there. Did you happen to have any involvement with that, or at all?
With the art pieces in the
art, the design?
No, that was totally.
Did they come to you and say, "We need your approval"? Because if it didn't turn out right, they were going to hear it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I try not to criticize, unnecessarily. I just thought of another thing too, for about Southfield that should be attractive to businesses, for example, and residents as well. I think we have a terrific fire department and a police department. Whenever I hear the sirens running right up and down Greenfield, which is a main street near where I live, at all hours of the day and night, I think, gosh, those guys are on it.
Yes.
The emergency services
Yes.
that we have here, they're very, very quick to respond.
I think the investment
And sometimes it's multiple responses in a given day or in a given night. Yes.
It seems to me that they're handpicking the best when they go to get different things. Like, I think the police chief here is formerly of Detroit, and he was under one of their top chiefs. Then we'll even talk about the DDA. Now, when they brought in Molly Lalonde.
Oh,
okay. I mean, she had a perspective that was about vision, and I think she heralds out of northern Oakland County. But for her to come in basically as a new set of eyes, learning Southfield for what it is, because it's an exploration expedition for her. I think she's out of Lake Orion. And so to take that and come to Northland District and this whole community with a new, fresh perspective, I think that's going to play a huge role in it.
Yeah. And I think she's doing a very fine job.
If you say so yourself.
She had some pretty big shoes to fill, and she's doing a nice job.
And now she's burst the laces off the new shoes. Okay.
The Reynolds building is it's a two-story building near the large freeway. I can't remember the exact streets of it, but it was designed in the 1960s, I believe, by a world-famous architect, Minoru Yamasaki. But Minoru Yamasaki is the same architect that designed the gas building. He designed also the famous McGregor Memorial compound at Wayne State University. And the most significant building he designed was the World Trade, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. And the Reynolds building is, Reynolds.
That's the old Big Tanny.
Yeah, it after Reynolds sold it or left, then it became a Big Tanny, and then it became a Ballet.
Yeah, there you go. And that's the thing. I heard that there was a church ministry that wanted to get it, and I think they were trying to basically scrape the building of its architectural wonder.
It was heartbreaking to get a tour by the mayor through that building a couple of years ago, and it completely trashed the building. I don't know what the church. There was a boxing ring on the third floor underneath the skylights. In the middle of the building on the second floor. Like, what were you in it? I don't know whether they were boxing dogs or cows or what. It was just an absolute abomination of that building.
This conversation is making me think about that circular building on Southfield, just south of 10 Mile.
Okay. It's north of Mount Vernon. That was originally a Jewish synagogue.
That just spoke to me when you were talking about the building. It just plays into the beauty of Southfield. The diversity of buildings, from as modern as the golden towers to the sacred design of the building.
Yeah. My name is Michael McFarland, and I'm a happy Southfield resident. I'm also an appointee of the Southfield Downtown Development Authority in my second term.